Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am here with a chit-chat kind of video because that's all I really have time for and all I really have brain space for. I don't know, I'm pretty tired. It's going on 7 o'clock. I was expecting Skylar to come over. I don't know if she is or not at this point, but she has been helping me with fabric. We weren't really seeing each other at all up until maybe a week ago. The first month, I was so busy with my mother and living with Derek and Skylar was in school, and then she would just hibernate in her room after, and I just let everything go. There was just, nothing was normal. And then when things were a little bit more normal, she spends a lot of time with her friend. And then, was it just, I don't know, a few days ago or whatever, I think it was like a week ago, her friend, they couldn't be together on a certain weekend, Friday or something like that. So Skylar was free. And I said, you want to come over and look at fabric with me? We can sort fabric, something she used to do when she would visit me in Maine. And we sorted all of the fat quarters that I hadn't sold yet. I had ordered 900 fat quarters, 9 boxes of 100, in each box. And I had sold some of those, but I had a whole lot left. And we sorted all that, and it was, very fun. And I told her, if you want to help, I'll pay you to help me, because it was so helpful. And then the next night she comes over and she's like, when are we going to sell all this? And I said, well, I'll be selling some of it. I had put some aside. She goes, why don't you just sell it all? So I did. I listed it all, and I do have some leftovers that I'll be putting on eBay. I don't know if I'll be doing that tomorrow. I was going to put them today, but I was like, I can't sell the leftovers in case I screwed up. So I have to keep everything here until all the packages are done. Then I can put the leftovers on eBay. I do have some new leftovers on eBay though. Some bandana. I don't have anything within reach. Bandana print, 5-inch squares that are super cool, 4 colors. A new Lorelei cat panel with squares. You might like that. Anyway, you can always go check my eBay. Link is in the description box. And if you're watching this in the future, there'll probably be some stuff, because I've been selling on eBay for 22 years now. It's 22 years this month. This is January 2022. I started in January 2000. I all of a sudden had no clue how to say that. 2000, January 2000. I'm not leaving eBay anytime soon. And there'll be some fantastic fat quarters at some point after this video, a couple days after this video, and a lot of them are boutiques. So Skylar came over and helped me, and I've been busy with that, and now I'm a little bit brain fried, and she may walk in the door, and then I will have to switch gears and work, because she's a workaholic too, and all she's going to want to do is sort fabric or do something. And I am teaching her how to cut. So far she's been cutting some half-yard cuts. That's about as much as I want to let her do at this point, and I still watch her. But she did really well with that, so I'm going to teach her everything she wants to know. Now I'd like to talk to you for a minute about how I feel about this move. Because I've been thinking about that, and last night Derek and I talked on the phone, and I was telling him how things are changing. If you remember right, the first month that I was here, I lived with Derek, with my mother, and it was very stressful. I was living this close to her. We had the living room, so I was there with her 24/7, except for the few times that I could go out, which were like, and then, I had an issue with my car being shipped, and then I was stressed out about my furniture. We never knew when it was going to be coming, and then it was a hot mess with that. And then finally I moved, and I just looked. My mother moved here on a Sunday, November 28, and my first night here was the Saturday night before that. So November 27 was the first night that I was in this apartment, and today is June 22. So we're looking at what did I say? I already have no clue. November, December, January. So we're looking at almost 2 months of me being here. Probably a month and 3 weeks, something like that. And at the beginning, it was rough with my mother. And, I mean, it's always rough with my mother, but it was a different kind of madness because she was completely displaced. And I understand that even if you're just always in a room, it's just like me. I work in a home. I shouldn't care what my surroundings are, but it feels very weird to know that when I step outside, I'm not going to be in my town, I was very worried that I would absolutely miss my town. But there was so much stress there for me with the house and snow and, even right down to my post office and my mail carrier who wanted me to always shovel the front steps, even though there was a clear way for him to get to the door by me shoveling the ramp. I would always say to him, why would I shovel the stairs this way when there's a whole clean ramp right there? All you got to do is come up the ramp. I was just tired of a lot of things, and I don't really miss it. I don't feel like I want to go back there. I don't feel like this is my home, and I like that. I've talked about that before. I feel like I'm in just a nice big hotel room or something. It's an apartment, but I treat it like I'm here temporarily. I can move wherever I want after this, and that really feels like luxury to me, that I just don't have a lot of the stresses that I had. And now, it's coming into place where I'm actually able to spend a little bit of time with Skylar because we have something in common that we love. She does love fabric. She has since I started selling fabric. And there's other things that we love too. We just haven't had the time, really. And so this summer will be cool. I'll have more time with her. There's a pool. I want to go swimming. So in that aspect, I'm feeling more like I belong here, it's not that I felt like I didn't belong here. It's really that I just didn't really care where I was. It was like I was miserable there, and then I came here, and there was like other misery here, mainly with dealing with the hospice care and with my mother being completely displaced and very vocal about that. And I will always have issues with my mother, always, but it was really escalated there for a little while. And she has seemed to come, to the point where she's okay not being in Maine. I would love to say it's because she realizes that there's less stress for me and stuff, but no, she doesn't want me to be happy. I'm telling you, she just doesn't. And she does like to play those kind of games where she really wants to make me upset with things and to make me regret my choices, and it's just a headache. And I did record about, what did I record? I recorded on my Growing Up Crazy channel. If you haven't subbed to that yet and you're interested at all in what it is like to live with a narcissist, or you may have a narcissist in your life, you can go check out that channel. It's always in the description of this video. So I still have things that I have put on the back burner that I haven't done. Things like my license, and I have to register my car in April, so I hope I can get that done. I don't think there were inspections here. In Maine, we used to have to inspect our cars every 6 months, and then they eventually changed that to a year. And I don't have anything. I don't have health insurance. I don't have a doctor or a dentist. It's those things it's going to feel very strange for me to go to a dentist when it's not my town, in a smaller town. Well, actually, my Sanford was a city now, but you can get to know people by just asking around. I don't have my mechanic that I've had since I was a teenager, And, you know, that stuff, it's scary to me, and it just makes me very sad. But I'm here, and I'm sure I'll get through all this stuff. I didn't even know how to put air in my tire. You know, I was like, where do I go? And it is a little bit more traffic-y than I would have liked. I didn't expect that, because when I looked at where I am on Google, it looked like just backwoods roads. Now it's a frigging highway. I have to pull out onto a highway. So that was a little bit discouraging, and I cannot go out between the hours of 3 and 4, especially between 3 and 3:30, because I cannot pull out. I mean, I have to sit there. Skylar's school is right next door, and it's like just a stream of traffic, and it gives me a headache. As for my apartment, I like pretty much most everything. I do not like the speed bumps that I have to go over. So many of them just to get out of here. I love the fact that I have a dumpster that I can, you know, throw stuff away, anything. I don't have to sort all my stuff. I can get actual bags at the grocery store. I don't have to bring bags with me. So, you know, it's little things like that. My kitchen is great, but it doesn't have a little spray thing. I wish it had that, but it does have a garbage disposal, which I never could have because our house in Maine had a septic tank, so you can't do things like you know, shoving food down the drain. But I notice I really don't. I can throw the garbage away into a dumpster. So I pretty much just throw everything in the trash and then bag it and, you know, just go to the dumpster. Yeah, and now let's talk about my neighbors upstairs. I remember somebody saying, you should rethink apartment living because you know that, you know, there can be people upstairs that make noise. And I said to myself, at least, I'm sure I didn't reply to that person, but I said to myself, that's not going to bother me. It's cracking me up because it doesn't really bother me, but I've never heard noise like I hear. I want to go see what the hell they're doing. I only ever see one woman come down. She must have a child. I don't know. If she doesn't have a child, then she just spends all day, starting around 6 a.m. until maybe 11 or 12 at night. She just spends all day jumping up and down. My bed is in the dining room that has like a chandelier type fixture, and she makes noise and that whole chandelier shakes, and sometimes it'll make a big noise and it startles me. So she certainly got the best downstairs neighbor she could have, because other people would be complaining about this. But especially if my mother wasn't here, I would be very, very grateful for all that noise, because then I'm not alone. I know there's somebody else in this building, because I can get spooked very easily. Now, the fact that my mother's here, that shouldn't comfort me. If something happens, she's not saving me. Even if she could, she wouldn't. But I know I'm not alone. So, but yeah. And then when I moved in, I have a little patio outside, and it was loaded with cigarette butts and a mix of leaves. And I thought, the people that lived here must have just smoked and constantly threw their cigarette butts right here on their patio. I was like, who would do that? And it took me a while to go out there and clean it. And then I finally did. I didn't even have a broom. I didn't bring a broom, but I had my, gloves that I get for my mother. And I just bagged all this stuff, and so it looked good. And the next day I wake up and there was like 7 cigarette butts, and I was like, that can't be blowing in like from the grass, and because it's a grassy area and then there's the parking lot, and I was like, there's not enough wind to be blowing all these cigarette butts to me. So I picked them up, and then every day there would be anywhere from 5 to 10 new cigarette butts. And one day there was a penny. I was like, what the hell? And then, not too long ago, I open it, and I'm not kidding, and I just threw the bag away today. Like, picture a grocery bag, about this much on the bottom of the bag, all Christmas tree needles. It was like somebody just dumped that on my patio. A big pile of Christmas tree needles, also with cigarette butts. And I was like, this is dumped. This did not blow. So I look up, and of course the patio is right above me, and the slats, there's a space between most of them, and some of the spaces are wider than others, and I counted 5 cigarette butts like ready to fall from there. So I thought, okay, she's probably just leaving her cigarette butts, and that's why they're just falling through the cracks. So that was another issue that some people would hate. But then one day, it's almost fun. The first thing I do is when I go into my mother's room, is I open the blinds so we can see. She always wants to know right away what kind of a day is it. And now the thing is what's outside, what's on the cement. And the other day there was 3 pennies, so that was exciting. I don't know. So all of a sudden, for the past 2 days, nothing. And I told my mother, I said, maybe she heard me one time say, oh, look, there's 3 pennies this time. And I always count the cigarette butts, and I usually say it right there. The door's open and I say it. So she could have been sitting right there at the time on her little patio, because she goes out there constantly because she wants to go outside to smoke. And, so anyway, the past 2 days, nothing. I bought a little broom and I swept everything after the Christmas tree needles thing. And then maybe she heard something, and now we won't get any more pennies. But it's cool to not have all those cigarette butts. All right, what a boring story. That is the highlight of my life. I wake up and I want to see if any treasures fell from the porch upstairs. And I guess that's about it. I don't think Skylar's gonna come at 7 o'clock, and now I'm sad. I don't know. I didn't really want to work tonight because I'm a little bit tired, but I did work on some packages, and I will do some packages. I can do that until it's night time. All right, you guys, I know that you still want an apartment tour. I did tell my mother that I want to do that, but I said it's, going to be a day that you have your makeup on, because she would be really pissed if I did that and she didn't have her makeup on. And I just tried to put it out there to see how she would feel about it. And I said, all you would have to do is I would just be talking, and, you don't even have to say anything. I says, but if you wanted to, I could just say hi, Ma, and she could say hi. And that's about it. I don't know, I just feel like it's almost silly, because I feel like this is temporary for me. And I have looked into the apartment that I wanted in the first place, but I don't think they have washer and dryer hookups, and I really want that. So I haven't purchased a washer and dryer yet. A, I just don't want to. I hate shopping with a passion. And B, if they don't have washer dryer hookups, I know they have free laundry on the premise, but I like to just be able to do my laundry without having to go someplace to do it. And but if they don't have a hookup, then I don't think I'm going to buy anything. I can do my laundry at Derek's, and so it's not urgent, but I haven't decided anything yet. But and I might not want to move, but I just would like to live a step up from this luxury, because they have a lot of things there that are cool. It's for senior living, and at the time they said I had to be 65, but then I was told 62. And I said, you guys lowered it? And she's like, no, it's always been 62. So I don't know, but I will be 62 this year, a little bit before my lease is up. So I'm just going to consider it. I'd like to go there if they let me in. COVID, they might not want me to be walking around there. And there's a lot of things included. It is very expensive. With me and my mother, we'd be looking at, I think it was something like over $4,000 a month. And I'm willing to pay that, because I've been saving my money like for years, and I just would like to retire, like just being in my own little paradise. So we'll see. Their rates are currently not on their website. That was a big horn sound. I think it was on Colombo, not outside here. So anyway, I'm considering it. It would be exciting to me. And I don't think there's 2 floors, so I wouldn't have any cigarette butts falling on me. All right, you guys, I'm gonna stop now. All right, I will let you know about that place when I find the rates, because I know it was expensive, and even Derek was like, "Ma, that's a lot of money." And I was like, "I know, but as long as I can work, I can swing it." All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with more soon. Bye.